Hey guys, so something a little different here today. I don't usually do sort of the newsy stuff. I care more about sort of putting my opinion out there and hearing your opinion and sort of dealing with opinions and hearing and discussing my opinion with other people and hearing their opinions and discussing their opinions as well. Today I kind of want to talk about something that's more on the side of news. I usually sort of try to stay away from it, and I try to stay away from the sort of the slummy, not the slummy, but the sort of dirt sheet kind of stuff. But that's not what this is about, and actually it's kind of to encourage people to get the whole story. Most of you know that I work out, and when I work out I don't listen to music. I usually listen to either a podcast or an audiobook to sort of, I don't know, I just prefer that. And last night I was listening to Jericho's newest podcast with Chavo Guerrero on it. I gotta tell you guys, if you have ever cared at all about what happened, with the tragic, Eddie Guerrero and Benoit situations, you need to hear this podcast. It's not gonna be an easy thing to listen to either. The first part, it's two different podcasts. The first podcast is going to tear at your heart. I promise you, it's going to pull at the strings of your heart. And the second podcast is going to make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. The first one, oh my god, Chavo just talks about Eddie's death on the first one, and he talks about how Chris took it, Chris Benoit, and that, this is a guy that had never shown any emotion. And, you'd tell a joke and he'd just be stone-faced, and, no matter what happened, he was just a stone-faced, same type of guy. But then when he found out about Eddie, he just wept openly. He said it was like this bellow, like, even just saying it kind of gets me a little bit, listen to it for yourself. I don't, he's going to tell it a lot better than I ever could. And it's a terrible story. And it's weird to hear it now, knowing, who Benoit kind of was. And then the second part of this podcast, I guess it's a different podcast, but the second one, he talks about what happened with Benoit. He basically says that this idea that he had the mind of an 80-year-old man with Alzheimer's is not true, because when they were on the road, it sounds like, according to Chavo, if the two of them were awake, he basically says if Chris Benoit was awake, he was with Chavo. They ate together, they trained together, they got up, they had different rooms, they would sleep in their own rooms, and they would wake up, one would wake the other one up. Actually, he talks about how he missed his, I don't want to spoil it, but my point is, if you've ever cared at all about what actually happened on these days, don't listen to this shit that Nancy Grace or all these other reporters that exploited the story and twisted it around and made it into something else. Don't listen to that shit. We're all, the community, the wrestling, the IWC or YWC or whatever it is now, and just the fans in general have all been oversaturated with that stuff. If you care at all about the truth, nobody will be able to tell you more than more than Chavo Guerrero what happened to Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit. One of the things that had my hair standing up on the end, and I had to rewind it because I couldn't believe my ears, he starts telling the story about talking to Chris Benoit, and Jericho's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So you're talking to him on the phone, and this is after he's already killed Nancy, and I can't even say, I'm sorry, I can't even say it. It's I don't really even know how to feel about it, and maybe I shouldn't really put a video up talking about it, but what I want to say is, if you care at all about the truth, you need to listen to this podcast. That's really all I have to say. Thanks for listening, and have a good day.